What's up? My name is Courtney and I am an author and a self-publishing coach. In this video, I'm going to talk about whether self-publishing is worth it or not. Now, I do want to remind you that there is another video that is all about the difference between self-publishing and traditional publishing. So you can go ahead and watch that video if you're not sure what the difference is. But essentially, self-publishing means that you are responsible for doing all of the things required to get your book published on Amazon and beyond. Now, I do have to mention that I have not been traditionally published, and maybe that makes me sort of a biased opinion, but I will tell you this. I grew up wanting to be an author my entire life since I was a little girl, filling notebooks and then finally typing stories out on our 1998 IBM desktop computer that took up the entire kitchen table. I've wanted to be an author my whole life, and I was told by very well-intentioned authority figures that becoming an author was very difficult, that I was in for a rough road and a steep climb and a tough battle in order to get a book deal and even to get a literary agent under the traditional publishing model. Self-publishing means that you have decided you are going to write your book or journal or children's book, whatever it is, and then you're going to use the new technology that's available in order to self-publish. Most commonly, that is Amazon's Kindle Direct Publishing or KDP platform. Amazon has lots of pros and cons, of which I will do a separate video for, but it's kind of the place you gotta be and the platform that you need to be on if you do want to self-publish and reach a larger audience. Now, the big question is self-publishing worth it? Well, let me tell you that I have self-published multiple times, and I have not been traditionally published. I have only gone through the self-publishing route. Self-publishing has expenses. This is not a free-for-all. Though Amazon's KDP does not charge you in order to utilize their platform, you're gonna have to spend money creating the assets that need to be loaded, meaning your manuscript that has to be edited and professionally done, as well as your cover that could be done on your own. Actually, both of them could be done on your own depending on the skills that you have in graphic design. I highly recommend working with a professional who can finalize the cover and the interior for you, even if, like me, you are creative and you know how to use things like Canva and you want to create some mock-ups or something that helps the designer to see the direction you want to go. I still recommend working with someone who is a professional to get your cover finalized. Now, you can find ways to cut corners or to be, maybe cut corners isn't the right word. You don't want to cut corners, but you can be more budget friendly. You can find a local designer to you, make sure that you're using a designer that works in the same currency as you. You could even find designers on Upwork or on Fiverr. There are ways that you can make this more budget friendly for you. There are other services as well that you can utilize if you're doing something that requires minimal design, like just a regular book. So if you're just writing a book, let's say you have a book with 15 chapters, you could write this in a platform called Reedsy, and Reedsy has a typesetting application wherein you can write it right inside Reedsy's platform. You can find editors right inside Reedsy's platform, and you can also have the book formatted in a print-ready PDF, so you don't have to invest a ton in having somebody do the layout for you. And typesetting means aligning things like fonts. You know, when you open a book and there's like chapter 1, and it may be in a bigger font, and maybe there's a subtitle for the chapter as well. This is all of the stuff that goes into typesetting. So you may not need to hire somebody and spend thousands of dollars doing typesetting. You could find ways to be more budget friendly. When I self-published my first journal on Amazon, I did a lot of the design myself. In fact, I designed it using Pages on a computer that I had just gotten, and I didn't really even know how to use Pages, and I created my first cover. It is not a great cover. Here it is. Very basic, very simple, not a whole lot going on with this cover, but I created it myself and I was able to save some money by doing it that way and then just having somebody finalize the document for me. The same with the interior. I designed the interior of my journal using Pages for Mac, and I had somebody finalize it, but I did a lot of the design elements myself, which cut down on costs for my very first project. My first project cost me about $800 Canadian. That's because I did a lot of the work myself. I did the cover and then I had somebody polish it. I did the interior and then I had somebody polish it. It is not the highest quality product, but it helped me be able to get my foot in the door and understand the concept of self-publishing and understand how Amazon's Kindle Direct Publishing works. Now, ultimately, the question I'm answering here is it worth it to go about self-publishing on Amazon? And my answer is yes, it is worth it, but it's never about just that first book that you put on Amazon. If you truly want to create a product that goes alongside your business, if you truly want to create something that is going to be valuable for people, yes, you will make revenue. And in fact, it did not take me very long to make back that $800, and then everything else is now just recurring revenue on an evergreen product that's been up there since 2018, and I just continue to make money from it. So of course, the revenue is something I consider, to be worth it. I spent $800 and I made that back within the launch of the book. That doesn't necessarily happen every time, but that is what happened for my self-love journal. What happened from there is that so many other opportunities started to develop from this one publication. When you go through the process of becoming an author, yes, lots of people are doing it now. Yes, the technology has made it easier for the average person to become an author. So maybe it doesn't seem as prestigious as it has seemed in the past when you had to be selected by a big publishing house in order to do this, but it has helped me in multiple other ways outside of income. We're talking credibility, and establishing myself as an expert. I got lots of speaking opportunities. I continue to get speaking opportunities. I started to collaborate with other small businesses and doing things like giveaways, and also in having small businesses and conferences and events purchase journals from me to include in their VIP gift bags. I've had small stores, small shops reach out to me to have the journals and my future books inside their small shops. I was able to do book signings, not only at some of the big bookstores in Canada, but at small bookshops and small vendor events as well. This helps to really create a network around you. And if you have a business and you're working towards growing your business, this can be one piece, one element that can get people purchasing a product from you on an international platform that recommends products automatically, and also help people purchase something from you at a low ticket and get a high amount of value, whether it's a book or a journal or a children's book. They're getting something from you and they're able to be part of your network moving forward so that you can reach even more people. For me, self-publishing was sort of the first door that opened into a series of other doors. This does not mean that everyone's story with self-publishing is going to be the same, but you should know that there are some investments that you will require in order to get your first book up and running on Amazon. I also recommend that you think about potentially doing multiple books in a series, even if you're writing a book, a full book, not just a journal. Consider condensing some of your information so that you are much better set up to do a second volume, a second edition, a second book, and you're starting to get people to understand that you are an author and that you have more to offer than just a standalone one book. Again, that's not to say that you must do multiple books in order to be successful, but when I was doing my very first journal and self-publishing on Amazon, I didn't really even have $800 to spend on doing this, which is why I was much more budget conscious when I was doing this project. Now I am more interested in having somebody professionally do my books and also my clients' books who I work with to bring their visions to life, to make sure we have a very quality product and to reduce any issue or hiccups or roadblocks or speed bumps that might come up if it's somebody just trying to mess around on their own. The short answer, after I just spent so many minutes talking about the long answer, for me is that yes, it is worth it, but you always have to look at it as more than just the one book that you are putting out there, and consider it like opening a door to multiple other opportunities that can benefit you in the long run. And yes, you will make money. You may even make enough money to pay back what you've spent in creating your product. Keep in mind, if you're writing a full book, it's going to be more than $800 because editing alone could be more than $800, and you need something that's professionally edited in order to build your credibility as an author. However, if you do things properly, if you start telling people about this launch impending, you could make back your investment in just your launch month. And if you don't make it back in your launch month, it could take 3 months, it could take 6 months, but then after that, anything else that you're making is just gravy, baby. This is not all about money, and that's what I'm trying to communicate here. Yes, there is an investment in order to self-publish, and you're taking that on yourself, but then you make far more in terms of royalties and how, the money that you can make through selling on Amazon far exceeds what you would be making if you went through a traditional publishing house. That's all I wanted to say in this video. Yes, self-publishing is worth it. If you have any questions about the process or want to know anything else in particular about self-publishing, please comment below and make sure you're liking and subscribing so that you can see new videos when they come out on the Leader Publishing channel. That's it. Have a good day. Bye.